Now, that leads me to our next amazing speaker, Mr. Troy Setter. So Troy has over 30 years of experience in the agricultural industry with a major focus on the beef industry. He is currently the CEO and Director of Consolidated Pastoral Company, a leading Australian-managed, UK-owned agribusiness with strong ESG values. We all know ESG, don't we? And if we don't, I'm not going to tell you because you'll learn it somewhere in some workshop. Okay, CPC owns and operates a portfolio of 9 station aggregations in Australia, 2 feedlots in Indonesia. It covers more than 3.2 million hectares of land. The CPC team can care for more than 300,000 head of cattle and produce a diverse range of crops. With an asset base in excess of $1 billion, CPC supplies a variety of domestic and international customers. Troy also currently chairs an amazing board for Dolly's Dream. Everyone would know Dolly's Dream. The Council of Research and Development Corporations and LiveCorp, and is a former chair of the Australian Beef Industry Foundation and several other organisations. Along with having a degree in rural science from University of New England, he has also completed the Agribusiness program at Harvard Business School and the Australian Rural Leadership Program. Troy Setter has extensive experience across agribusiness industry, spanning production, processing, marketing of beef, sheep, grains, cotton, land development and logistics. He previously served as the Chief Operating Officer of the Australian Agricultural Company and held key positions with many noticeable agribusinesses such as Northern Australia Cattle Company, Torrent Investments, Killara and Twinem Group. Troy's deep expertise in strategy, operations, business and development and stakeholder engagement has earned him the recognition as a thought leader and advocate for the Australian agricultural sector. Please welcome Troy Setter to the stage.
Thank you, Leanne, for that very generous introduction. Thanks for the opportunity to be here and be part of your conference. I was really fortunate growing up to go to an agricultural high school, Hurlston Ag High School in Sydney, and that gave me some amazing opportunities, but also got to be mentored by some great teachers and got myself into agriculture, so I was really lucky. It's a bit of a hard challenge talking about the future of agribusiness following a futurist, but I will have a crack at it. But I'll probably take a bit of a different angle, more about unlocking value in human capital in agriculture. So we think about agribusiness, we often think about the assets of the properties, the industry, the liabilities, the land, the crops, the fish, financial liabilities, environmental opportunities and liabilities. But we very rarely talk about the human capital as the most important asset in agribusiness. And I think for us, human capital is the most important asset at our company. We've moved it forward to the front of all of our board meetings. We talk about safety first, we talk about people first, and then we talk about animal welfare second. And the only reason we put animal welfare second is because we have a slight little bit of humans come first and we can't really split it. But look, for us in our business, human capital is really important. It doesn't mean that we're overly soft on people. It doesn't mean that we're perfect. Doesn't mean that we don't have difficult conversations, and it doesn't mean we get it right every time. That's certainly not the case, but human capital is so important, and I thought I'd talk about a few ways of unlocking value in human capital today. So there's no shortage of jobs that need to be filled in agribusiness. I mean, is agriculture a good place to think about future careers? Absolutely. Today there's 172,000 extra people needed in agriculture in Australia through the full supply chain. It's about 15,000 alone just needed in meat processing. There is thousands and thousands of people needed, so it's a huge opportunity. Even if half of those jobs were taken by technology, It's a huge amount of extra jobs that are needed. So we talk to young people about, is agriculture a good place to join? Absolutely. You know, people need to eat multiple times a day. They need to wear clothes. We need byproducts from agriculture for all sorts of things, and food, clothing, and all of the support products that agriculture makes will be needed forever for human civilization. Food is not going to be taken away. Food's not going to become redundant. But where would you like to work in agriculture, or where would you like to work overall? This is Facebook's new office. Look at this and say, this would be pretty exciting to work at Facebook, open plan, you know, big warehouse type thing. Would anyone like to work there? No. Would you like to work at home by yourself, staring into your screen and spend time working from home? Or would you like to work here in agribusiness? How cool would that be? Or here working with this beautiful canola or these cute piglets. We don't do enough about promoting about how cool it is to work in agriculture. The visual opportunities, the positive mental health opportunities of being outdoors and working in agribusiness are immense. And there's a huge opportunity, you know, for people to think about where they want to work and unlocking that value. But there's certainly challenges, but we're getting better. Education in agriculture is still quite low, formal and informal. The Beef Sustainability Framework has found that 22% of the beef industry have higher qualifications. That's a great start, but you know, there's a huge opportunity to invest in people further after they've finished school. Sheep sustainability is really good, with their 45% of participants who've got into training and further education, and the seafood industry is now baselining. What we're seeing is a lot of industries baseline their workforce, where the training and education is to look at gaps. I think NFF's call for consistent trade equivalent job brand skilled farm work is really important. At CPC, just about every person gets training every year. We really work hard on the job training as well as certificate training and formalised training, but they're not, those training opportunities aren't really well coordinated. We value them every year. We actually put an economic value on, and we present all of the people that work for us a certificate at the end of the year with how much we've spent on them on training and invested in people, because you know, going back to the assets at the start, if you don't invest in your assets, if you don't invest in people, then you're going to have a liability. So training and education, what does it look like at CPC? So this is some people here, some of our team members doing their Certificate 3 in agribusiness. Yep, they're having a smoke, they're having a beer, they're sitting around the table. It's 5:30 in the afternoon after they've finished work. They work till about 8 or 9 o'clock at night doing their training after work. We do on-the-job training as well. But a lot of these people that work for us, you know, they do their education and training best in teams. They do their education and training working together, teaching each other, problem solving, working together, and having a really relaxed environment and a relaxed time as they go through that. There's a few people, including myself. I took this photo. I was pretty annoyed that they were smoking, sitting there, but because I hate smoking. But you know, great to see these kids that were not sitting at the front of class, that really struggled with agriculture. They have a choice. We don't make them do this training, and they sit there after work doing their Certificate 3, Certificate 4 in agribusiness, and many of them go on to do further qualifications, and it's their choice, and they really enjoy it. Making the workplace better and unlocking value. Agriculture has a really shocking death rate. Depending which state you're in, 3 to 8 times higher than other industries. People get hurt in agriculture every day. People that I work with in our team get hurt regularly as well, and it's something that we can do better at. Agriculture has some really high injury rates, but training is really important. But people are getting younger, supervisors are younger, people don't have the life experiences. They weren't fixing cars before they went out and started working on farms. They weren't riding horses to the same degree. They weren't mucking around in the shed out the back. They were getting other skills. They were learning technology, working with computers, but we need to change the way that we induct people. We now spend about 2 weeks before people start work just on training around safety and improving our safety rates. But the injury rates in agriculture are too high. It's going to get harder. We're going to have to keep investing in training to reduce injuries. But if we do reduce those injuries, the value that we'll unlock will be huge. Costs us now about $30,000 in the Northern Territory if someone breaks their arm. just in the cost of transporting people and getting them to a doctor and back. One of the things that agriculture really struggles with is depression, particularly in men, and mental health is a big issue. Nearly half Australian farmers have felt depressed, with almost 2/3 of those experiencing extreme anxiety. Close to half Australian farmers have thought about self-harm, and about 30% have thought about or attempted suicide out of that group. This is pretty new data from NFF. It's pretty confronting for us at CPC. He's part of our team in our mental health shirts. We talk about mental health all the time. We talk about self-awareness. The cost of depression, anxiety, self-harm in the agricultural industry is billions. It's one of the biggest costs in agriculture. It's a massive cost. So the opportunity to train people and educate people and break down barriers about mental health, to break down barriers about isolation, to check on your team, to work through what those challenges are like is a huge value that can be unlocked. And the exciting thing is our young generation are happy and open to talk about it and talk about it freely, which is great. So is agribusiness all hard work? You know, we often spook people about how hard working in agriculture is. This is a few of our team working really hard. You know, there's technology coming in and innovation, and I think that's great. But we've got to be mindful about, you know, working people too hard. But then people want an adventure. People want sweat down their back. They want to be outside often. They want to be proud of the team that they work in. So as a leader in agribusiness in our company, balancing hard work, balancing teamwork is really important, and it's a consistent flow back and forth. But we've got to be careful about sometimes over rewarding hero hard work rather than smart work, because if you're not working smart, often is where people get hurt. So rewarding success is really important. Agribusiness, you know, traditionally hasn't rewarded success well. Yeah, we certainly find our older generation at CPC struggle with rewarding success. They weren't given a pat on the back, they were given a kick up the arse if they did the wrong thing. If you didn't get a kick up the backside, then you're obviously doing the right thing. And breaking away from that to reward success, working through with our teams, you know, presenting them if they reward. It doesn't mean every kid's a winner. It means that those that go above and beyond, those that try really hard and work hard, get rewarded at CPC. And I think the industry can certainly do better at that. Other industries do it really well, and our younger generation really appreciate it. So agribusiness, unlocking the value in the next generation. This is our junior managers conference. On your right hand side, there's a bunch of old blokes. They're some of our senior management who are presenting. But the vast majority of our young leaders at CPC are female. They lead from the front. They absolutely do the attention to detail jobs better than men on most occasions. They look after our calves better. They look after people better. But the thing that we can do better is get them into more senior roles. We've only got one female station manager at the moment. We've got plenty of female head stockmen, but it's something that we can do better. I think, look, going forward, you know, we certainly try and do work with govies and support for children and flexible working. It is really hard out on stations. It's really hard in particularly in livestock agriculture and also in harvesting agriculture. When the work's got to be done, it's got to be done. But it's something that we can do better, and we've got a great team of ladies. So we get about 75% of our job applicants are female at CPC, and we're about 50-50 male female. We have no quotas. Best person gets a job. There is to be no barriers, and we all are expected to pull our weight. We're not perfect, but I certainly have a low tolerance for people who put barriers up in front of other people. So making the workplace better in agriculture. This is pretty confronting. Sky Saunders did some really good work going around Australia talking to rural women who worked in agriculture about their experiences with sexual harassment, gender equality in their workplaces. She found that 73% of women had encountered unwanted sexual behaviour in their course of their rural life. The figure was even higher for women on cattle stations and shearing sheds, 93% having to navigate sexual harassment as part of their workplace experience. We must keep improving our industry. That's not every farm, it's not every business, but it's a fair few. So there's absolutely opportunity to do this better. It's not acceptable. Bullying, harassment of any sort has no place in the workplace. You've got to have fun, absolutely. There's going to be banter, there's going to be jokes, we're going to be inappropriate with each other from time to time, that's life. It's a hard grey line to walk, but absolutely we can unlock more value from retaining more women in the workplace by treating them better. It's as simple as that. Traditional ownership participation, I reckon, is another huge opportunity. Probably hasn't come up very well, but if you look at the dark brown in the Northern Territory, massive area of land, probably about twice the size of Victoria. There's somewhere between 24 and 48 Aboriginal people work in agriculture in that area. About 10 of them work for me. So, there's this huge opportunity to unlock Indigenous workforce in agriculture, just to break the cycle, even if they don't stay. Most Aboriginal people that come and work at CPC only last a couple of years, but we break the cycle, we give them other opportunities, get them to see what else is available out there, and I think agriculture has a huge role to play in fixing some of the challenges, particularly in Northern Australia and rural and remote parts of Australia, where there's some really big cultural challenges with traditional owners and society at this stage. Certainly, huge opportunities for supply chains. When we talk a lot about, where are the cutting edge jobs, where's the technology jobs, where's the science jobs, and I love all of that. I'm absolutely excited about. But when we talk about where are the bottlenecks in agriculture, it's often truck drivers, it's often people working in abattoirs, it's people at the ports, it's people driving cranes and trucks, and we've got to continue to ensure that we unlock those problems as well in agriculture. We will not meet the opportunities that are out there for Australia and agriculture. Investing in all people in agriculture is so important. It's not just at the pointy end. And I like to use this example here of strengthening all of the links in the chain, not just the strongest links. We have some great programs in agriculture for investing in people. We have really good programs for developing people. But often, if you sit back, and I've been the benefit of some of these, we're strengthening the strongest links. The opportunity to strengthen all of the links in the chain in agribusiness is really important, and a huge opportunity. The people who I know in our organisation who didn't get some of the chances earlier in life due to their own situation, family situations, or thing outside of their control, have gone on to be some of our most loyal team members, some of the people that will work the hardest for us, and they were the weakest links, and getting those weak links strengthened is just so important. So strengthening the supply chain is really important, and keeping the keepers. Agriculture has a really high turnover of people. That's often taken as a given, but I look in our company, we absolutely pay more for retention of people who've been with us for longer. The more experience, the more skills you've got, the more you get paid, and keeping those keepers is just so important. So, thanks for the opportunity to be part of your conference today. I'm going to be around for a little while, and look forward to talking to you. So, thank you very much.